In late 2025, a team of geologists scanning the Earth's mantle made a discovery that shouldn't exist. Deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean floor, right under Bermuda, they found something. Not a shipwreck, not a plane. Something much larger, a colossal, boiling blister the size of a mountain range, trapped inside a layer of the Earth known as the transition zone, filled with superheated molten rock and ancient minerals, material that had been sealed underground for millions of years. It wasn't dormant, it was alive, still bubbling, still expanding, still actively shaping the ocean floor above it. And here's the part that makes this relevant to everything you're about to hear. Scientists now believe this geological engine, this massive anomaly under Bermuda, is part of an unpredictable and still poorly understood system. The Atlantic Ocean floor, the very ground beneath the Bermuda Triangle, is not the stable, passive plate we thought it was. For decades, we've been asking the wrong question. It's not whether the Bermuda Triangle is dangerous. It's why we were so ready to believe it was something supernatural. The story of the Bermuda Triangle doesn't begin with missing planes or ghost ships. It begins with one of the most famous explorers in history, Christopher Columbus. On October 11th, 1492, Columbus recorded something strange in his log. While sailing through the Sargasso Sea, the region we now recognize as part of the Bermuda Triangle, he saw a great flame of fire crash into the ocean. Later that same night, he reported a strange, flickering light in the distance, a light he could not explain. His compass also began behaving erratically. The needle wavered. It no longer pointed reliably north. Columbus didn't call this place the Bermuda Triangle. That name wouldn't exist for another 470 years, but the pattern was already forming. Strange lights, malfunctioning instruments, a sense that something about this stretch of the Atlantic operated by different rules. For the next 4.5 centuries, ships continued to sail through. Most made it, some didn't. And then, in 1964, an American author named Vincent Gaddis wrote an article for a pulp magazine called Argosy. He needed a compelling headline, something that would sell copies. He coined a phrase, the deadly Bermuda Triangle. Suddenly, a scattered collection of maritime accidents had a name, a shape, a reputation. Think about that. Before 1964, these were just shipwrecks and disappearances. Tragic, yes, but scattered across decades, separated by thousands of miles of ocean, each with its own individual explanation. After 1964, they were evidence, pieces of a larger, darker puzzle. Gaddis claimed the triangle was a region that had destroyed hundreds of ships and planes without a trace. The boundaries were vague, somewhere between 500,000 and 1.5 million square miles, roughly triangular, connecting Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. But the exact borders? Nobody has ever agreed on them. The Bermuda Triangle does not appear on any official world map. It was never recognized by any government, any maritime authority, any geographical board. It was a marketing term that people mistook for a real place. And that confusion, that blurry line between fact and narrative, is where the real story lives. If the Bermuda Triangle legend has a founding event, it is this. December 5th, 1945, 5 United States Navy Avenger torpedo bombers, collectively known as Flight 19, took off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It was a routine training mission, 14 crew members across 5 aircraft. The weather was clear. Their assignment was simple. Fly east to a bombing range near the Bahamas, practice dropping bombs, then return to base. The flight was scheduled to last about 2 hours. It never came back. Shortly after completing their practice run, the pilots began reporting problems. Both compasses on the lead aircraft, Lieutenant Charles Taylor's plane, had stopped working correctly. Taylor, an experienced pilot with over 2,500 flight hours, became increasingly disoriented. Radio transmissions captured his growing confusion. He believed he was over the Florida Keys, but the Keys are southwest of Fort Lauderdale. Flight 19 had been flying east. Taylor gave a course correction. It took them further out to sea. The radio transmissions became more desperate. The weather worsened. A storm rolled in. The sun was setting. The final transmission was received at around 7 p.m. Then, silence. A PBM, Mariner flying boat, was dispatched on a rescue mission with a crew of 13. It took off at approximately 7:30 p.m. Shortly after, witnesses on a nearby ship reported seeing a large fireball in the sky. The rescue plane also vanished. All 13 crew members lost. No wreckage ever found. In total, 27 men disappeared that night across 6 aircraft. The Navy's initial investigation concluded pilot error was to blame. Taylor had misidentified his location. He led his squadron in the wrong direction until they ran out of fuel and crashed into the sea. But that explanation didn't satisfy the public. Under pressure, the Navy amended their report. The final official cause was changed to causes or reasons unknown. That phrase, causes or reasons unknown, became fuel for decades of speculation. And it wasn't just Flight 19. In 1918, the USS Cyclops, a massive Navy cargo ship carrying 306 crew members and 11,000 tons of manganese ore, departed Barbados bound for Baltimore. It was the largest ship in the Navy's fleet at the time. It vanished without a single distress call. No wreckage, no bodies, 306 men, gone. It remains the single largest loss of life in U.S. Navy history, not directly involving combat. Then there was the SS Cotopaxi, a merchant steamer carrying coal from Charleston, South Carolina, to Havana, Cuba. It disappeared in 1925 with 32 crew members aboard. For decades, it was listed as one of the Bermuda Triangle's unsolved mysteries, until 2020. Marine biologists and underwater archaeologists identified a wreck off the coast of St. Augustine, Florida, a wreck they had nicknamed the Bear Wreck, as the missing SS Cotopaxi. The mystery was solved, but here's the strange part. The wreck wasn't found inside the Bermuda Triangle at all. It was identified 40 miles off Florida's coast, well outside even the most generous boundaries of the triangle. The ship had sailed through the triangle on its route, yes, but it had actually sunk somewhere else entirely. Suddenly, the Cotopaxi wasn't just a triangle mystery. It was a case study in how easily a label can override the facts. So if ships and planes really did disappear, and they did, the records confirm that, what could have caused it? The theories fall into roughly 2 categories. The scientific. Oceanographers have studied the possibility of rogue waves. These are immense walls of water, sometimes reaching over 100 feet high, that appear without warning. They form when multiple large waves overlap simultaneously, a phenomenon scientists call constructive interference. A single rogue wave can capsize even the largest modern vessels in seconds. No time for a distress call, no trace left on the surface. Meteorologists proposed another explanation. Hexagonal clouds. Satellite imagery has captured these strange formations over the Bermuda Triangle region, cloud structures shaped like honeycombs, some stretching 20 to 55 miles across. These clouds can generate air bombs, microbursts of wind reaching 170 miles per hour. When those winds hit the ocean surface, they create waves up to 45 feet high. A plane flying into one of these wouldn't stand a chance. Then there are methane hydrates. Deep beneath the seabed, pockets of methane gas are trapped in frozen deposits. When these deposits destabilize, the gas erupts, rising through the water column in massive bubbles. If a ship happened to be above one of these eruptions, the water beneath it would lose density. The vessel would drop through the gas bubble like an elevator with its cables cut, sink instantly, no warning, no wreckage scattered across the surface. Norwegian scientists have mapped craters on their coastline, some half a mile wide and 150 feet deep. They believe were caused by exactly this phenomenon, and the magnetic anomalies. Within parts of the Bermuda Triangle, compasses point to true north, the geographic North Pole, rather than magnetic north, the shifting magnetic pole that compass needles normally track. This is caused by something called the agonic line, a border where true north and magnetic north align. Navigators who don't account for this discrepancy can drift miles off course without realizing it. In open ocean with few landmarks, a compass error of just a few degrees can be fatal. The agonic line once passed directly through the Bermuda Triangle. It has since migrated westward into the Gulf of Mexico, which may partly explain why the rate of mysterious disappearances has declined in the modern era. And then there are the other theories, the supernatural. In 1970, a pilot named Bruce Jernan was flying his Beechcraft Bonanza from Andros Island in the Bahamas toward Miami. He encountered something he called an electronic fog. Two massive clouds formed ahead of him. They curled inward, creating a spiral, almost like a tunnel. When he flew into it, his navigation instruments failed. His compass spun wildly. He lost all visual reference. When he emerged from the clouds on the other side, he discovered that his flight had taken only 35 minutes. It should have taken 75. Jernan believed he had been pushed forward in time, that he had somehow traveled through a vortex, a wormhole in the atmosphere above the triangle. Skeptics point out that tailwinds, time perception distortion under stress, and pilot disorientation offer more conventional explanations. But Jernan went to his grave, insisting that what he experienced was real. He wasn't the first to report something inexplicable in that airspace. In 2014, a pilot radioed air traffic control to report nearly colliding with an unidentified flying object above the triangle. In 2015, passengers on a commercial flight filmed a curious object hovering over the ocean below, footage that was widely circulated and never officially explained. This is the Bermuda Triangle's grip on the imagination. It's never just one story. It's layers, the plausible and the impossible, stacked on top of each other until the line between them blurs. The Dragon's Triangle, the Pacific's version of the Bermuda Triangle off the coast of Japan, has its own mythology. Ships vanishing, underwater volcanoes, legends of dragons beneath the sea. In the 13th century, a Mongol invasion fleet of 40,000 men was destroyed by typhoons passing through the Dragon's Triangle. Kublai Khan's grandson abandoned the conquest of Japan because of it. Lake Michigan has its own triangle. So does a stretch of Vermont called the Bennington Triangle, where multiple people disappeared on foot in broad daylight, often within sight of witnesses. The pattern repeats. Oceans, lakes, forests. Anywhere humans travel, some places become notorious. The United States Coast Guard has been keeping records on maritime incidents for over a century. Their data tells a story that is far less exciting than hexagonal clouds and time portals, but in many ways, more important. When you control for volume of traffic, the Bermuda Triangle does not have an unusual rate of disappearances. It is not statistically more dangerous than any other heavily trafficked stretch of ocean. The Coast Guard states this explicitly. The number of ships and planes that go missing in the Bermuda Triangle is no different, proportionally, from anywhere else in the Atlantic. So, why does it seem like more things vanish there? Because the Bermuda Triangle happens to be one of the most heavily traveled shipping lanes in the world. Cruise ships pass through it daily. Commercial flights cross it constantly. The Gulf Stream, a massive, powerful ocean current, cuts directly through its center, funneling vessel traffic and creating the kind of unpredictable weather that causes accidents anywhere. Combine that traffic volume with tropical storms, hurricanes, the Gulf Stream's sharp weather shifts, and the deepest point in the Atlantic Ocean, the Milwaukee Depth in the Puerto Rico Trench, reaching nearly 27,500 feet below the surface. And you have an environment where accidents are inevitable. And if a ship sinks into water nearly 5 miles deep, finding wreckage becomes extraordinarily difficult, not because anything supernatural is at play, because the ocean is very, very good at hiding things. The mystery, in the end, is a perfect storm of human error, bad weather, heavy traffic, deep water, and confirmation bias. Confirmation bias. That's the key. Once Vincent Gaddis gave the world the phrase Bermuda Triangle, Everything that happened in that region became part of the story. Every storm, every accident, every pilot error, all of it fed the legend. Meanwhile, accidents outside the triangle were just accidents, and some of the most famous Bermuda Triangle disappearances, like the Cotopaxi, weren't even inside it. The official number of vessels and aircraft lost in the region is imprecise. Estimates range around 50 ships and 20 airplanes, but even that number is inflated. Some incidents on the list were reported from outside the triangle, others were embellished by later authors. A few never happened at all. In 1937, papers reported a plane crash off Daytona Beach, Florida. It was attributed to the Bermuda Triangle. When researchers later checked local records, they found no evidence the crash ever occurred. The legend was feeding itself. In 2025, we discovered that a massive geological engine is running beneath the Atlantic Ocean, a discovery that changes our understanding of how the Earth's surface formed. It tells us something we tend to forget. We know less about our own planet than we think we do. The Bermuda Triangle, as a defined place with supernatural properties, does not exist. The data is clear on that. It is a story we told ourselves, a name we gave to a collection of unrelated tragedies strung together by a magazine article in 1964. But the broader truth, the thing that makes this story worth telling, is that the ocean hides things. It always has. In the Puerto Rico Trench, nearly 5 miles below the surface, there are shipwrecks no one will ever find. There are planes whose final moments we will never reconstruct. There are stories that ended in silence, with no distress call, no witness, no evidence. Not because a supernatural force claimed them, because the ocean is vast and powerful and indifferent. And that, the raw, unadorned reality of how small we are against the scale of the sea, is far more compelling than any myth. The greatest mystery of the Bermuda Triangle may not be what happened to the ships and planes that vanished. It's why we were so ready to believe something extraordinary had taken them.